Good day. Welcome to Conversations with AARP in the Virgin Islands. I'm Troy Deshabir Schuster, State Director of AARP, and we are very pleased to bring you an important topic today, and that is all about caregiving. As our community continues to age, as people are living longer and healthier lives, we also find that people are becoming more and more in need of assistance as they approach the end of their journey with us. And so caregivers are becoming more in demand. More people are becoming caregivers, and caregivers face certain challenges as they provide care for their loved one. And so AARP and the National Alliance of Caring defines caregiving as the unpaid care provided by family, friends, spouses, and neighbors for their loved ones who may need short term or long term help with everyday activities and tasks, even medical and nursing tasks. This can include housekeeping, meals, personal care like bathing or getting dressed, scheduling appointments, personal finances, medication management, wound care, and transportation. Today, 48 million family caregivers reside in the United States, representing one out of every five adults providing care. And the need for caregivers is expected to increase as the population ages. But many family caregivers don't consider themselves as caregivers. Rather, they see themselves as sons, daughters, spouses, and friends supporting their loved ones. While their role offers a sense of purpose, many of these caregivers report physical, emotional, and financial strain. This scenario is often attributed to the challenges that family caregivers face while providing care to their loved ones. Recognizing the sacrifices of caregivers, AARP continues to strive to support them by providing resources to lessen the impact of caregiving on their health and wellness. And so, to discuss this in more detail with us, we welcome our special guest, Dr. Migdalia Brathwaite. Dr. Brathwaite, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Troy. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you. And so, Dr. Brathwaite, first of all, tell us what kind of doctor are you?
So, I have a PhD in counseling psychology. And so I provide that kind of support. And in my daily life, I am the clinical supervisor at the Department of Health, as well as the program facilitator of the clubhouse services at the Department of Health.
Excellent. And so, as you and I were discussing some months ago, after a show just like this, we talked about caregivers and
Yes.
what AARP was doing for caregivers. And so, we asked you if you would work with us to provide support to our caregivers. And
Hmm.
you have worked along with us so very well to develop a Caring for the Caregiver workshop.
Yes.
The first session already took place. So talk to us a little more about that, just the beginning of it, and then we get more into the particular areas that you covered during the workshops. But wow, I think we've lost Dr. Brathwaite. We have some technical difficulties. So hopefully she'll be able to rejoin us soon. But what we were talking about was the Caring for the Caregiver workshops. At AARP, we came to realize that there were many people who were providing care for their family and again experiencing the strain and the challenges of being a caregiver, and they were not taking care of themselves or feeling sick and emotionally depressed and so forth. And so Dr. Brathwaite, who's just back with us now, uh, was just about to tell us a little bit about the development of these Caring for the Caregiver workshops. So again, Dr. Brathwaite.
Thank you. I remember when we had that conversation and how passionate we both were in sharing our thoughts about caregiving and the fact that it is such a needed path, and there needs to be more focus on it. And so I developed a series of workshops for you all. I'll just tell you all of the titles, and then we'll talk a little bit about the first one that we did last week. And so therefore, the first one is called Who's Driving the Bus? And that one was specifically looking at just moving into the caregiving arena. If you're thinking about it, if you are someone who may have just entered it, or if you're someone that has been in it for a while, just really looking at how approaching or being in that journey impacts the caregiver. Sometimes people jump into that caregiving role not really knowing all of the pieces of their lives that will need to be adjusted to accommodate that role. And so we spoke a lot on that. So who's driving the bus? Well, initially it may feel like the bus is kind of a runaway bus, but ultimately it's really about learning how to coordinate the care, but most importantly, focusing on the caregiver themselves, because it's very easy to put all of your focus on the care recipient and not necessarily remember that when you enter into caregiving that there are two people now that are being cared for, which is the care recipient but also the caregiver. And so the way that we formulated these workshops is that they're broken down into two specific sections. The first one is the learning lab, where we speak very specifically about that topic of the day. So that portion is where we really talked about entering the caregiving arena and what that could feel like. And you know what's really interesting about when you're entering the caregiving arena is that it's a big event in life, right? There's so many big events that we have in life. When you when you get married, then you get the role of being a spouse. When you have a naming ceremony for your child, you then are a parent. But no one really ushers you into any piece of this caregiving journey. You sort of go in for better or for worse and just learn as you go, which could be very daunting on the caregiver's life and also the care recipient at the same time. There is a piece of it that's just really sort of very uncertain. And so having some ability to look at it before you get into it was what Who's Driving the Bus was about last week. So we have two pieces, as I said. So we have the learning lab piece, and then we have a place for us. And in the learning lab piece, like I said, they're very practical tips, but then we also have a section that's called the point to ponder, which is a question or a thought that travels with you on this journey of caregiving. And a space is opened up where the group can ponder
Uh,
this question together.
Dr. Brathwaite, we're beginning to lose you a little bit there. Maybe you can pause for a second. I know the challenges of internet, especially within the last couple of days here in the Virgin Islands, and so it looks like we have lost Dr. Brathwaite again for a moment there. So, but as she was saying that there's parts to this. First of all, a place, the learning lab, and then a place for us. And one